What's up, everybody? Welcome to the world-famous Fantasy Griddle podcast. Check out our website for waiver wire ads, rest of season rankings, and more on fantasygriddle.com. Make sure that you follow us on Twitter at Fantasy Griddle and that you liked our Facebook page as well. Tonight, we're going to get right into an interview we did with former NFL defensive end Mark Anderson. Mark was nice enough to come on the program and give his insights into what's going on in the NFL and fantasy football. So here we go. Without further ado, the Fantasy Griddle interview with Mark Anderson.
Ball was on the ground, and the fumble recovery was made by Mark Anderson. Without a helmet. He came out of the bottom with no helmet on. Nice job, Mark Anderson, not giving up containment. He got pushed past Tebow, and then Ward and Didrick pushed the middle of that pile and kept Tebow at bay. Mark Anderson closed it down. Good second effort, Mark Anderson. Snap to Tebow, takes 2 steps back. Going to be hit, going to be sacked. Back inside the 25-yard line. Mark Anderson, second sack of the game.
Unsung hero, Mark Anderson stepping in and stepping up for the New England Patriots.
Tonight we have a very special guest joining us on the Fantasy Griddle podcast. He played 8 seasons in the NFL for the Bears, Texans, Patriots, and Bills. He holds the Bears record for most sacks in a rookie season with 12, and he's one of just 8 New England Patriots to ever record 10-plus sacks in a season. Mark Anderson, welcome to the Fantasy Griddle.
Yo, what's going on, guys? Thanks for having me.
No problem. Excited to have you on. I know you're into fantasy football. We're 4 weeks into the season right now, or we're in week 4. How's the season going for you so far?
Oh man, shoot, this is not. I'll just say, this year hasn't really been going like I expected to go. I'm in like 5 leagues right now. I'm 1-2 in 4 leagues and 2-1 in my PPR league. So I'm just doing just enough, man, just so I can breathe.
And so you told us earlier that you've been playing for quite a while, playing for quite a few years. How did you get into fantasy football?
I just picked up on fantasy football. It's just a hobby. I always used to hear about it when I was playing ball, but I never really knew what it was. I never understood it. But then I had a couple of buddies of mine that I grew up with. They play a lot of fantasy football, and so when I got done playing, they was like, "Man, you should join." And so I said, "Yeah, I'll give it a shot." So then I joined them my first year. I think it was around like 2014. That was my first year playing. I won. I think I lost. You know what? I think I went undefeated. I was hooked ever since. And then after that, I just started joining all kind of leagues and stuff. And, normally my limit, my girl gave me a limit of like 2 leagues. But every time I go over 2 leagues, I start having problems. So, now I'm in 5 leagues, and that's why I'm having all these different issues and stuff. I get stuck with 2 leagues and just keep on winning.
Usually I get in a league with my friends from home, and then I got another one with my friends from school, and then another one with my friends from work. Who are you in leagues with?
Shoot, I got one league is actually 2 leagues is a group of buddies of mine I grew up with, and then I got another league, some guys at the barbershop where I get my hair cut. And then I got another league with some old Houston Texans players. And then I got another, and then my last league is it's just another buddy of mine, this league that he's in. He invited me into this league, and I just hopped on in. So that was just a random league right there. So that's the league that's another. So I'm in 2 PPR leagues and 3 standard leagues. And this is my first year playing PPR.
So, Mark, a lot of guys in the NFL seem to be downplaying the significance of fantasy football, or they don't really like to talk about it. Is that something that guys don't really play at all, or do you know anyone who actually did do that kind of stuff during the season?
Like I said, I never even heard of it when I was playing, so I never knew anybody that played any fantasy football. I didn't catch on till late. Because, back in the day, they really didn't advertise like they do now. So it really wasn't as big as it is now. So when we was playing, I didn't, nobody talked about it.
Some people play in those individual defensive player leagues, the IDP leagues. And you're a defensive guy. Just curious, who are some of your favorite defensive players in the league right now?
Oh yeah, shoot. Let me see. I still like to watch them edge rushers. So if you can get after the quarterback, I'm checking you out. So right now, I like both the ends over at the Chargers. Even though Bosa's hurt, I'm just speaking on last year. I like to watch both of them play. They get after the passer.
Mm-hmm.
Like I like it. They get off the ball. I like they get off. And I'm liking Von Miller, and of course. Myles Garrett, he's been doing his thing over there in Cleveland, and I like Ramsey too. He talk a lot of noise, and I like people that's not scared to express themselves and get after it, talk a little noise, have confidence in their ability, and back it up. So those are the guys that I've been checking out so far.
He certainly does like to talk, but he does back it up. So
oh yeah, I like that. I like that a lot, man. See, not enough guys, be out there talking a lot of noise, man. And it's a lot of yes guys, yes man, and I like the guys that get grimy out there, man. That's my type of guy right there. I like Ramsey.
What about between Myles Garrett and Khalil Mack? Who do you think is going to be the better guy at the end of the season?
That's a tough one. Right now, I say Khalil Mack got the momentum. He got all the media, everybody talking about him. So he got a little momentum right now. But give me Myles Garrett, man. I like the underdog.
I like that.
There you go. Mark, what do you enjoy most about playing fantasy football?
I'm competitive, so it's just kind of keep me active, man. Because if it weren't for fantasy, I wouldn't be watching football no more.
Yeah.
I got done playing. I kind of I was going to hang it up until, like I said, my buddies put me back on. Yeah, so I just like the competitive nature of it. And, it's just allowed me to tap into my inner GM skills. And, the name of my team is Young Belichick.
Oh, no way.
So I'm thinking I'm Belichick out there, man. So, if you have a bad game on my team, you'd be on the waiver wires quick. I don't care who you are. Picking up somebody else. That's how I play my game.
I know you mentioned you're in 5 leagues. Who were some of your first-round picks this year?
Oh, this year I won. So like I said, I've been winning. So I won 5 times. I probably won. Let me see, 4, 5. I won probably maybe like 5, 6 times. And so this year I took a different approach. I wanted to try to solidify a good running back. And so, who I picked up? In one league I had Fournette. Another league I went with Zeke. Another league, and then the rest I went with David Johnson. And you see how he's doing. He's doing terrible this year. Yeah,
that offense has been a disaster, but they're starting the rookie quarterback Josh Rosen this week, so maybe things will get better.
Hopefully, man. If not, I got to trade him. I'm thinking about trading him for Mark Ingram or something. I need somebody that's going to get after it.
Yeah, for sure. And that was actually one of the things I was going to ask you about was Mark Ingram. For us, I know Duncan's must-have player heading into the season was Mark Ingram. You're very high on him. And for me, it was Jamal Williams of the Packers. Hasn't really panned out so well. Was there one guy in heading into drafts that you wanted to get on your team?
Oh yeah, actually it was 2 guys. I wanted Devontae Adams this year, and I wanted Royce Freeman. I hopped on that Royce Freeman. I hopped on that Royce Freeman train after them preseason games, and I'm like, okay, I found me another Kareem Hunt. And you see, Lindsey came in and stole the show. So now Royce is on my bench, and I want to drop him, but I can't drop him. That's the only guy I just can't drop. And I feel like something gonna happen maybe later in the season. But Devontae Adams and Royce Freeman, those are my 2 guys.
Yeah, I agree with you there on Royce Freeman. I actually have Freeman and Lindsey on one of my teams, and Freeman's been riding the bench and Lindsey's been in the lineup. But I kind of agree. I think as the season rolls along that Freeman's going to start to take more of that work. And who knows? I don't think Lindsey can keep it up and get as many carries as he's been getting over the long haul.
Shoot, I don't know, man. He's been looking good out there.
He does look good.
He's been running hard, and he's doing all the little stuff right. It seems like the coaches like him. He just came out of nowhere. I was doing my research. I'm like, okay, Royce, he got the starting job. And then they'll talk about Booker. they really weren't even talking about Lindsey. And the next thing you know, Lindsey getting all the snaps. I'm like, come on now. So, yeah, you just never know with this fantasy, man. It's just, that's why I love it, man. You know, you never know what happened. You got to stay on top of everything. He's
wearing that number 30 jersey, too, the TD jersey. You hear about that story?
Yeah, I heard about it. I was listening to a little interview with Adam Scheffner. Adam Scheffner or whatever. Scheffner or Scheffner?
Schefter.
Schefter, yeah. Yeah, you can edit that out. So, yeah, I caught an interview with him, and he kind of, you know, made a fan out of me after I listened to that interview, man. He seemed like he's hungry, he's humble, you know where he came from. And, you know, I like the underdog. Whoever's the underdog, I'm always rooting for him. And he definitely got that underdog mentality and that underdog story. So he kind of got a fan out of me. So I kind of like his story.
So, Mark, obviously you're an Alabama guy. Do you try to get a lot of Alabama players on your team? There's a lot of great ones to choose from. Julio Jones, Kenyon Drake, Derrick Henry, Mark Ingram. Do you target those guys?
I target Mark Ingram a lot. He's one of my sleeper guys. Last year I had him and Kamara. I had the 1-2 punch. I kept both of them in down there the whole season, and they was getting after it last year. But Mark Ingram normally my guy. Julio was my guy my first year. But like I said, this year, I wanted to try something different, so I went, Devontae Adams. So I passed over Julio, and I passed over Drake. I passed over everybody except Ingram.
What do you think about Calvin Ridley? You have a chance to see him this weekend?
Oh, yeah, he a beast. He looking good out there as well. I wish I would have picked him up. Another one of my buddies swooped him up early. So, that's my fault because I get to talking with some of my buddies and, just give them some inside scoop on different players. And we be talking before the draft, all months before the draft. And the next thing you know, they start snatching up players I was talking about. So that's my fault.
That's one of the challenges of having a fantasy show is you got every time we say something, our league mates are taking our guys. So you got to be careful there.
Yeah, I know. But yeah, really, yeah, he's having a great year so far. I know it's just been 3 games, but I think his past 2 games, he didn't kind of solidify that number 2 role, and I think he's gonna have some big games coming forward in the next few, as the season prolongs. So I think he's gonna be okay.
I know we were talking about your quarterback situation earlier. What's going on at quarterback for you, and who are you targeting on the waiver wire at quarterback?
Oh yeah, we talked about that. So. Yeah, Garoppolo is my quarterback. He was my little sleeper. I thought he was going to have a pretty good year. He started off kind of slow. And then this last game, he kind of picked up a little bit. And then, he got the ACL injury. So now I had him and Andrew Luck on my bench. And after they took Andrew Luck at the last play of the game for the Hail Mary, I was like, nah, I'm about to drop Andrew Luck. So I dropped Andrew Luck. Now I'm thinking about picking up. I'm thinking about Baker, one of these rookie quarterbacks, maybe Baker. Or, I might even sneak in and pick up a young Cam Newton and Josh Allen. That's what I'm thinking about. One of them boys. So I'm thinking probably Baker Mayfield. Though I might go ahead and rock with him.
Yeah, you mentioned Josh Allen, and he's interesting. The Bills came out of nowhere and surprised this week, took down the Vikings, and you're right. He looks like a little Cam Newton out there hurdling guys and stuff.
Yeah, I like that. I like my quarterback to get some of them rushing yards as well, man. Somebody not scared to dive and make some plays. So, but the problem with Josh, man, his supporting cast is trash. Like, we don't know who the receiver situation is. Benjamin is dropping balls out there. Only guy is LaShawn, but he's banged up. So. I don't know. It'd be a gamble, but I'm willing to take the risk. I like to take a few risks out there.
There you go.
So, Mark, I know when you played for the Patriots, Belichick definitely had you watching film a lot. Do you still watch film today, or like all 22 stuff? And if so, how can players or fantasy players use film to find guys?
Do I still watch film? No. These days is long gone. You know what I'm saying? I watch so much film. So no, I don't watch film. So now, like when I watch games now, it's strictly for fantasy purposes. I'm just trying to see how different players are used. Who the quarterback's targeting the most. Who they want to get the ball to. You know what I'm saying? Like for instance, the Steelers. AB the guy. And if he ain't getting the ball, they going to Juju. So, it's the simple stuff. Everybody's saying that we all watching the same game. You just want to pick up and see who's the playmakers and who the quarterback wants to get the ball to. So I'm all about targets and volume.
Mark, did you see the Bucs game on Monday night?
I called the first half. Actually, I had Fitzpatrick playing. I had Fitzpatrick in one of my leagues. I was 0-2 in one of my PP. No, it was a standard league. I was 0-2. I was down I can't remember. I was down a lot, and I had Fitzpatrick and I had Chris Godwin. So the first half, Fitz went out there, threw 3 picks. Godwin was fumbling the ball, dropping the ball in the end zone. I was like, man, forget this, man. I'm going to sleep. I woke up. I won by 1 point. I was like, oh, man, what happened? I seen Fitz threw for like 400 yards, and Godwin got the touchdown that I was looking for. And, I snuck in and got that victory, man. So I was on the verge of being 0-3, but Fitz came back and he looked out for me, man. So
he's having a great year. Is there one player in fantasy that kind of caught you off guard this year and is having a great year and you didn't really expect it?
Who caught me off guard this year? I'm going to have to say the obvious, Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I did draft Kelsey, and he was on the verge of getting dropped too after that first performance. But yeah, Kelsey was my guy. But yeah, Mahomes, I like what Andy Reid doing over there. He's real confident. He got a lot of weapons. Yeah, Mahomes, man, he's just lighting it up right now, man. You can't really beat that.
So, Mark, a few guys that we're trying to buy low right now in leagues. Personally, I'm looking at Larry Fitzgerald, Zach Ertz, Doug Baldwin. Actually, Royce Freeman, I'm looking to buy low. Is there anybody who you would be looking to buy right now as someone who maybe hasn't been doing so great to start the season?
I know New England is a little unpredictable with their running back situation, but I've been buying low on Sony Michel just because he's been getting a lot of volume. They've been trying to get him involved. I feel like they're trying to work him into a bigger role, and so he's been my little sleeper guy that I've been trying to trade for. I traded for him in one league. I gave up LaShawn McCoy for him. I know that's kind of risky, but like I told you, I got the Belichick mentality. Like, if you ain't performing, you out of there. You know what I'm saying? So, but Sean ain't really been performing. So I was like, let me see what Sony about to do. So I went ahead and so I've been looking at Sony Michel. Man, I think he might have he might be in the running for a big season here. Toward the end of the stretch.
Duncan loves hearing that.
You just made me a very happy man. I've been touting him all season.
Oh, okay, yeah. See, there we go, man. Great minds think alike.
What do you think about Josh Gordon heading to New England? You think he's gonna, play up to how he's been in the past with Cleveland?
Man, I'm pulling for Josh Gordon, man. I drafted Josh Gordon in one of my leagues as well, and right when he got released, I dropped him immediately. That was too premature. I shouldn't have did that. Because then he got picked up by my favorite team, New England, and I think if he could just stay focused, which is easy to do in New England, man. When you dealing with Belichick and that whole organization, man, you gonna lock in. So I think if he just lock in and do what he need to do off the field, I think I think he might have a big year. Because the thing about New England, the thing I know about them is they're going to put him in positions to to make plays. So whatever he's good at, whatever he do best, that's what they're going to do. I don't think they're going to put a lot on his plate right now just because he came in, he missed all the training camps and OTAs and stuff. So I think whatever he do best, deep balls or whatever it is, deep slants or whatever, I think him and Tom is going to work it out. So I think Josh Gordon might surprise some people as well.
I didn't realize the Patriots were your favorite team. Do you think they're going to be okay this season? Obviously, a rough start, losing to the Jaguars and losing to the Lions on Sunday night. You think they're going to be okay this season?
No, yeah, they'll be all right. That's one organization I'm never worried about, man. Never. They can start off 0-5, man. They're going to find a way to win.
I like that. Makes me feel better.
I know we were talking about Le'Veon Bell earlier, too. Do you think he's going to be playing football anytime soon this season, or do you think it's kind of a lost season for him?
Oh, man, that's darn right. That's a tough one, too. I'm not sure, man. Le'Veon, if I was Le'Veon, I'll sit out as long as possible. He's a top running back, not just fantasy-wise, but, like, just in general. He's one of the top running backs, man, and I feel like he should get paid accordingly. And, if he get traded to the Jets, I think they would talk about the Jets. I think I might have heard the Jets, the Colts, maybe San Fran. I think I heard that. Well, wherever he go, he's a dynamic player. So, I'm rolling with Le'Veon as well. But I sit out as long as you can, man. Just get your money. And this is beyond fantasy. Fantasy wise, trade him and try to get somebody with a lot of upside.
Yeah, I'm feeling better and better about my deal, getting rid of Bell and getting back Ezekiel Elliott.
Oh yeah, I like Zeke. I picked up Zeke in one of my leagues, but that whole offense is trash too.
Yeah,
that can't get nothing going.
No weapons in the passing game at all in Dallas.
No weapons at all. So, but at least he's gonna get the ball. So it's just all about volume when it comes to fantasy.
I got one more question for you, Mark. How about Dez Bryant? You think he's going to play this year? And if he does, you think he'll be worth owning?
I'm staying away from Dez. I'm staying far away from Dez, man. I don't know what he's doing. So I have nothing for you for Dez. I'm staying away. I've never really been a Dez Bryant fan.
Yeah, and he's been a little banged up last couple of years, so I'm also backing off on him. But it's interesting. I thought he would have got signed by now, and there's a lot of teams out there looking for a receiver, so we'll see where he ends up. But yeah, I'm not too high on him either.
Another one of my guys is Mike Williams. I got him stashed away on my bench. He finally had that breakout game last week. I had him on the bench though. I wish I would have played him, but I might have to go ahead and flex him now since he's scored in every game.
Yeah, he's been great. He's been a huge play. He was top first round draft pick a couple years ago, and he's been coming on strong. So I like Williams as well, and he's on a couple of waiver wires. I think he's like 56% owned in Yahoo leagues right now. But yeah, if he's out there, definitely add Williams.
I drafted him, so he was one of my late round draft picks. So he's just been riding the bench for right now. But I think he didn't work his way on up now, so he's ready to get some playing time.
There you go.
I think he's past Tyrell Williams on the depth chart, and Keenan Allen's kind of having a slow start. So yeah, Mike Williams is taking full advantage of it.
Oh yes, sir. I'm a big Mike Williams fan.
Mike Williams right now is the looks like he's a top 25 receiver at the moment, so he's doing really well.
Yeah, that's my guy, man. Another couple of guys that I passed up on it. I wish if I can go back, I definitely wanted to go. I definitely would have picked up Kamara again and Christian McCaffrey, man. I feel like he was having a great preseason. I don't know why I passed up on him, man. I don't know what I was thinking.
Hindsight's 2020.
I know. I should have just stuck with my guns and picked him up.
Mark, what do you think about Antonio Callaway? Have you had a chance to see him at all in Cleveland?
Yeah, he got a lot of potential. He kind of stepped up when Josh Gordon left, and I think he might be okay, man. I need to see a couple more games out of him, but he had a lot of targets last week. How many targets he had? I think he might have had maybe like 10 targets last week, maybe.
Exactly.
Yep.
So, I'm all about that target. So, yeah, he's definitely on my radar. So I think he'll be okay, especially with Baker. You know, we got to see how the chemistry, how Baker Mayfield's chemistry and his chemistry are together on the field, and that's going to determine a lot.
Do you think Baker Mayfield's going to have success this year in his rookie year?
Yeah, I hope so, because I'm about to pick him up. So he need to. I hope he go out there and show out for me. So yeah, I think he'll be pretty good. You know, he's really he's a smart quarterback. You know, he really don't turn the ball over too much. Interception wise, you know, he might. You know, I seen him fumble a couple of times, but like throwing interceptions, you know, he get that ball out quick, and that's all you can ask for. So, you know, he does all the little things right. And, you know, he got a lot of confidence out there, and he seems like he's trying to make the big play. So, I like his energy, man. So, I like Mayfield. Another little side note on Mayfield. He coming from OU, and my nephew was the running back. You know, my nephew was the running back at OU, Rodney Anderson, and they were lighting it up last year. So that's another reason I like Baker Mayfield. I seen when he was doing the OU, and you know, he was giving my nephew the ball, and they were balling out there, man. I was like, okay, I like this kid, man. So now he's with Cleveland, and I like what he's doing. I think I didn't talk myself into picking him up tonight, so I will be picking him. He will be on my team. So next time I'm on the show, I'll let you guys know how that played out.
Yeah, well, we'll definitely have you back. That's not a problem. And thank you so much for joining us tonight. We were very excited about this for several weeks now. So very appreciative that you came on the show. I know we had our technical difficulties beforehand, but finally made it on. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. I will ask you, is there anything that you wanted to mention, Mark, at all? Like anything at all that you wanted to say?
You can give a little shout out to my nephews. I had a couple of nephews playing ball. My nephew was at OU. He got hurt though. He hurt his ACL, so he's out for the season. But he was, he was doing big things. Rodney Anderson, and I got my other nephew playing DN down at Ole Miss. Ryder Anderson, man. So be on the lookout for them boys, man. We coming, Anderson boys.
What's the second guy's name? You said Rodney Anderson. Who's the other one?
Ryder Anderson.
Ryder. That's a good name. He's at Ole Miss.
Ole Miss DN.
Oh boy, another DN, huh?
Another one.
Uh oh.
He's coming. He about 6'7", 270. So he gonna be a beast. He's a sophomore, so we still working on him, but he gonna be a beast out there.
You gonna show him a few moves?
Oh yeah, man. He already got the moves. We just gonna, we're gonna continue to work on the technique and perfecting the craft a little bit. But them a couple of names, man. Just keep your eyes out for them guys.
Sounds good. All right, well, thanks so much, Mark. I really appreciate you coming on the show.
No problem, man. Thanks for having me, guys. I had fun.
Okay, well, that was our interview with Mark Anderson. Thank you so much to Mark for coming on the show. Again, guys, check out our website, fantasygriddle.com. You can find waiver wire ads, rest of season rankings, and more. And make sure that you're following us on Twitter at FantasyGriddle and that you've liked our Facebook page as well. There's always new posts coming up on the Facebook page, so check that out. Duncan, anything else before we sign off for the night?
Yeah, thanks again so much to Mark. Hopefully we'll have him on the show again shortly. And yeah, if you guys have any questions, as always, hit us up on Twitter at FantasyGriddle. We're going to be doing some waiver wire and buy-sell shows and keep those posts coming out. If you have made any trades or if you have anything that you want us to discuss in the show, please let us know. We're happy to go over that kind of stuff with you. And thanks so much for listening. We'll see you next time.